Honestly, I didn't feel like any moment was too big for me at all. I felt really comfortable, no matter the game or situation. I think just honestly just getting that experience, getting to kick in front of a few more faces and in bigger stadiums. I think that was probably the biggest adjustment. But I mean, it's yeah. Again, there's no moment too big for me, and I loved every minute of it.
What has this offseason been like for you?
Uh, Really well. I think I've done really well. Been strong. I think I've worked really hard in the off season. I think one of my mentors, that I knew before I came here, with relationship with Chris Brown, I think that's really helped me. I've worked with him a lot in the off season. Whether it's back in Omaha for spring break or whatever. But we're looking at film. But he's been a huge mentor to me, and seeing what Coach Foley sees, and the rest of the specialists, getting their opinions and seeing what they see on film when we break it down has been huge for me this winter for sure.
How much work have you put into the part of your game where everything's the same on every kick, from your steps to your placement, all the stuff that you have to focus on as a kicker? When you're a freshman, was it how perfect was that craft for you and compared to where you want it to be?
Sure, I think there was definitely some inconsistency my freshman year. With my steps and kind of the whole process. I feel really kind of polished and consistent now. That's something we really hammer in the off season. Same process every kick, no matter the situation. Obviously, like something like aiming points. Depending on where I am on the field and with the wind, that'll change from kick to kick. But the same process, that doesn't change, and that's the same thing no matter the kick.
How has your relationship with Coach Foley evolved since you got here?
It's been great. With him coming from the NFL, he's worked with some of the best guys in the world at my job, and so he's really gotten to kind of learn over the years. He'll be the first to tell you, he played center. He didn't kick the ball, but he's really learned a lot over the years, and that's something that he kind of talks about, and he's proud of himself. He's able to talk to us about kind of what we do, because we have a unique job. So, but him being able to talk to us really is good.
I know you kicked in Memorial Stadium the one time before you kicked the whole season there, but did the win in the Big Ten and in Memorial Stadium, was that a unique experience for you to kind of work through some of the difficulties of kicking the ball in that weather and in that win?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, kicking in the Big Ten is hard. It's the hardest conference to kick in, I'd say. In the SEC, those guys are complaining down there when it's 50 degrees out, and it's just like, well, it's November here, and it's 20, and there's 30-mile-an-hour gusts, in my face or crosswind. So it's nothing like kicking in the Big Ten, and I think Memorial Stadium's hard to kick in for sure. But, at the end of the day, I'm from here. I got to deal with it, and, my job is to go out there and put the ball through the pipes, and that's what I'm going to do.
Was there another stadium that was, that was challenging?
I'd say last year, probably Illinois. They call it the Windy City for a reason. It's near Chicago, obviously. It's not, it's Champaign, but that was a tough one for sure. It's different every night, it just depends what kind of elements you're going to get there. They're unpredictable in the Big Ten.
You mentioned that relationship with Chris Brown. I can't remember, when did that start to take off, and what's it like, there's obviously guys who have come through this program who have had great success kicking, to have that network of guys.
Yeah, well, my relationship with Chris really started when I was in high school. His son was my holder my junior year, and I've been family friends with them for a long time, and that's a great resource to have. And along with the other kickers who've kicked here, I'm really lucky to be in the situation where I am. Getting to talk to Brent Maher, Alex Henry, Sam Cook. Anyone who's kicked here. I'm in a really lucky position, and it's great to be able to have those resources almost on speed dial.
Nebraska's had a lot of emphasis on competition, spring league and things. How does that competition show up for kickers? How do you stay competitive?
Yeah, the specialists aren't really on any of those teams. We're kind of on all three teams or none of the teams, and if you look at it that way. But they use us. Like today, I know we had like a 2-minute situation. It was so the ball's on the plus 40, and we got a minute left, and they got to score a touchdown to win or a field goal to force overtime. So they definitely use us. And last week it was red zone. So we were involved in that too. If the offense they're in range, if they don't score a touchdown, they're calling our number. So they really use us, and it's good that we're going to be a part of that, because it simulates a real life game. So it's great.
What's the longest kick you've made so far in camp?
I think I think during the spring league we went back to 58. I made 58 I think last week.
You know what your like? Do you know what the outer edge of your range is? Like when you guys are just screwing around, kicking it as far as you can.
I mean, whenever I'm on the field, I'd say that we got a good chance to be in range. But I mean, get the ball to the, I don't know, cross the 50, and we'll start thinking about it.
Coach Foley was talking about how you'd come to this stadium with your grandpa ever since you were young and all that. I mean, so you've known the pressure of that position at Nebraska, and you said no kick's too big for you. How did you not let the pressure become too much for you when so many eyes are on you and your history here?
Honestly, I think I've had a really kind of good background when it comes to like my mental training. That really plays a huge part in kind of just my process. You know, I mean, I have a lonely job. You know, look at pitchers, look at a golfer. You know, we're kind of the solo man on an island sometimes. You know, so I think just kind of trusting your mental approach and, you know, trying to find that consistency. You know, the same kick mentality and just same process every kick. That's huge.
Are you and Brian Buschini good for each other in that way?
Yeah.
And is there some comfort there that can actually impact your performance when the two of you are both doing this for the second year together?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that you know, Brian's great. I think, you know, I mean, we have a really good snapper, Cam. You know, he's been really good for us so far this spring. And I think, you know, I mean, every kick before, you know, we go out there, me and Brian are always talking about you know, aiming points and, you know, figuring out a target to aim at, and that's huge. So that's something we do. You know, trying to really hammer down the same process before every kick. You know, that's just building consistency, and it's only going to make us better.
Thanks, Tristan.
Yeah, thank you.